introduce Kenneth S. Wyville, Jr., past Grand Master of Emeritus.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me begin by thanking George Sager and the officers and directors of the George Washington National Masonic Memorial for allowing us this great privilege, this honor, to make this presentation today. Today we've assembled once again to learn more about George Washington, the man, the soldier, the statesman, and the Mason. George Washington has created a legacy which has motivated men over the years to search for more and more information about him. In history, it is well known that there are colossal events caused by man that can upset the course of humanity, such as our American Revolution. But there have also been lesser events that in their small way have been a spark in generating relevant changes in the history of man. They have conditioned the intensity with which the life of a people or a group of people have manifested themselves. Thus, these events have enabled civilization to reach a higher degree of thought and the freedom to think without constraints. Today, I will introduce another man to you whose identity and history was purposely hidden for nearly 300 years. He was a man whose values concerning civility and human rights parallel those of our beloved George Washington. Let us begin. It would be impossible to make this introduction without recognizing the impact that George Washington has made both large and small on history, and particularly regarding civility and human rights. We know George Washington was born in 1732 into a prominent Virginia family, but even so, he still faced many hardships throughout his younger years. He recognized that education was essential to develop a student's desire and ability to think and learn about the world around them. As a young man, he also realized that social grace was imperative for every gentleman. It was particularly important to him that he was forever seeking the means to improve and prepare himself as he constantly strived for upward social mobility. George Washington understood the need for civility, and this was impressed on him as a young man. At age 16 in 1748, he copied in his journal as a school writing exercise what we now know as rules of civility and decent behavior in company conversation. Rule number 1 was every action done in company ought to be done with some sign of respect to those present. Civility is the act of showing regard to others by being polite. Civility comes from the Latin word civilis, meaning relating to public life, befitting a citizen. In other words, being friendly and nice to everyone. Thomas Jefferson in 1814 letter to Walter Jones wrote around 1,800 words on George Washington's character, but none more profound than these. On the whole, his character was, in its mass, perfect, and nothing bad. In few points indifferent, it may truly be said that never did nature and fortune combine to more perfectly make a great man. If a man as important as Washington devoted his entire life to behaving well and to civility, surely we must be able to learn a few things from him. Later in life, as commander of the Continental Army, Washington was engaged in the Battle of New York. During this time in history, the official British policy was to let the field commanders decide whether to put captured enemy soldiers to the sword or give quarter, which means keeping captives alive in the barracks. Hence the expression, give no quarter, which literally means to kill a captive on the spot. In his book, Washington's Crossing, historian David Fisher recounts how humane treatment of prisoners was literally invented by George Washington on the battlefield in 1776. Following the Battle of New York, Washington watched as some of his men became British prisoners were slaughtered. After the first Battle of Trenton on December 26 and 27, where Washington's men captured several hundred Hessian mercenaries, Washington ordered his troops to treat the captives humanely. American soldiers risked their own lives ferrying Hessian prisoners back across the Delaware. The Hessians were amazed to be treated with decency and even kindness. Fisher writes, American leaders resolved that the War of Independence could be conducted with respect for human rights, even of the enemy. So you see, George Washington also recognized the value of human rights. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Human rights include the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work, and education, and many more. Today, to further our education, it's my honor to introduce to you another man, Tommaso Crudeli. Brother Tommaso Crudeli, Master Mason. Crudeli was born in Poppi, Italy in 1702. He too was born into a prominent family, and he too struggled to establish his place in society. He was the seventh generation Crudeli to have attended the University of Pisa. His profession was the law, but he had an affinity for poetry and was published many times. He was a champion of free thought, which was to eventually cause his downfall. It was during this time period in history that ideas and the concept of free thought and expression was largely suppressed in many European countries. When the United Grand Lodge of England was formed in 1717, Rome was very much aware of its significance. However, there was some alarm when a large number of English nobles established, including the sister-in-law of the English Prime Minister, arrived in Florence in 1732.
An honor and position and a champion of Freemasonry. What an honor.